Hey guys, Torsar here with another sports talk video. Today, before I even get started, I just wanted to reiterate the point of these videos. I'm not always trying to take the easy stance. I'm not saying that I'm always trying to take the wrong stance. Some of my debates I fully believe in, and I think it's not even saying that they're unpopular opinions, just maybe sometimes a lot of people do have a differing opinion. Like, let's say, for instance, Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, or Daniel Jones is a top 10 QB going into next year, or even like I talked about yesterday, that Kobe Bryant is not a top 10 player all time in the NBA. And I know a lot of people will disagree with some of those stances, and that's fine. That's the whole point of some of these debates. If everyone agreed, who wants to watch? I think that's the point that some people miss with Skip Bayless sometimes when they get so angry at him, or even when they accuse him of always wanting to talk about the Cowboys or the Lakers. I mean, just go look at my Cowboys video I made on Dak Prescott recently. You can look at my channel analytics and see that's my most commented on video, even over the Shannon Sharp video I made that has almost 700 views. So that's why they make videos on that, and that's why Skip Bayless, in some ways, he's a genius. He knows that if he always is just taking the agreeable popular opinion, there's really no show. There's nothing to talk about. So in saying that, today I'd like to talk about, or just ask the question, can LeBron James legitimately still win the MVP award this year in the NBA? Now, I say that, first of all, I'd like to bring up these awards, please, guys, gals, when you're making all-time great debate discussions, leave the awards out of it. They mean nothing. Does it really? I mean, Kareem won the MVP award 6 times. Jordan won it 5. LeBron won it 4. It's all subjective. It goes from year to year. When I show you the list later on, I'll tell you some of the things I talk about. And also, I don't want to hear anything more from people like Kevin Durant, who always are scoffing at the media and saying that they don't know what they're talking about. If you see the stats of some of the NBA player voting for the NBA All-Star, I'm going to show it to you guys in a little bit. It's actually laughable. Now, one important factor, and I'm going to give myself a little back pat here, and I'm just going to warn you guys, this is going to go off track a little bit because I'm going to go into other sports. So, I made my coach of the year for the for the NFL the other day. Now, I bring this up because I saw Louis Riddick a few days after I made the video mention on Twitter that Andy Reid, Zach Taylor didn't get any discussion for coach of the year in the NFL. And he said, I don't get it because sustained greatness has to count for something. And if you guys go back and watch that video, you don't even have to watch the video. Just go back, click on any part of it where you could see I have the notepad open and just look at the list. And maybe even if you want to say, no, come on, I don't believe you. Look at the part where I was talking about, it's farther in the video, about why I picked those guys for the honorable mention. I had Andy Reid and Zach Taylor in the video. Why? Sustained greatness. It has to count for something. Windows security, I hate you. Anyway, guys, sorry for that interruption, rudely by Windows. I say that because, oh, by the way, I also had Brian Dable, Doug Peterson, Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sirianni. I wasn't really sure where I'd put them. I know a big discussion was Nick Sirianni. Did he get snubbed? And I'm sure when we see the voting, he'll probably end up 4th if we ever get to see the overall voting. And the other 3, the people that were finalists for the award, I all had them. You could say that was an easy call or not. All right, well then make your own video for Coach of the Year. But anyway, my point is to carry that over to the NBA. some of these guys haven't got it awarded for sustained greatness. We kind of get, the voter fatigue. You hear that. I guess that's just a natural thing. I don't know what you're supposed to do about it. So let me go and show you guys, because I found this kind of interesting. The wiki for the MVP award in the NBA. So let's just read down this, because some of this, I'll try to skip over some of it, but Most Valuable Player Award is an annual National Basketball Association award given since the 55-56 season to the best performing player of the regular season. Best performing player. So right away, there's already a discrepancy in, is it valuable, best performing? And we all know it's not valuable, all right? Because that's so hard to quantify. Who's the most valuable to their team? The goalposts are always moving in these awards. And then it's like, all right, does it have to be the most valuable on one of the top teams, the top team? It's just so like all over the place. We all know forever it's really been who's had the best spectacle of a season, right? Because otherwise this list would be a lot shorter as far as the differing people who have won it. So I'll just sum up this paragraph. It's now named the Michael Jordan Trophy. Kareem already had, they would have named it after him because he's won the most, but he already had, I forget which award it is. He already has something else named after him. Let's see if I could see it on this list real quick. Yeah, honors. Oh, the social justice champion. Okay, so that's why they didn't name it Kareem, and they went to the next most winner, Michael Jordan. And also it could have been Bill Russell, but I'm pretty sure he already has something named after him. Again, let me just try to... All right, maybe if you want to know, the list is right there while I'm talking, okay? All right, everyone knows how the voting goes. I mean, come on. So let's go down to here. Every player who has won this award has been eligible for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame has been inducted. Those who are, of course, eligible. Obviously, there's guys who have won it and are still playing. They're not yet eligible. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won the award a record 6 times. He is the only player to win the award despite his team not making the playoffs in the 75-76 season. Imagine that happening now. We think, oh my God, Russell Westbrook, Jokic, they won it at 6 seeds. His team didn't even win it. Now that might be the true definition of the most valuable player. It reminds me of A-Rod in baseball when he won it back in the day for I think he was on the Rangers, right? And he just had by far and away the best stats that year, juiced or not, whatever. All right, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, 5 times. Wilt, LeBron, 4. This is interesting. Russell and James are the only players to have won the award 4 times in 5 seasons. All right, it goes over the guys who have won it twice. The international players. Curry, in the 2015-2016 season, is the only player to have won the award unanimously. Now, everyone knows that. What a lot of people might not know is Shaquille O'Neal in 99-2000 and LeBron James in 12 and 13 are the only 2 players to have fallen 1 vote shy of a unanimous selection. And honestly, this is why these awards are so silly and subjective sometimes. You can just lump them in with Stephen Curry. Whoever those 2 knuckleheads were, they should have their vote taken away. Just like whoever the knucklehead was who didn't vote for, like Ken Griffey Jr. Wasn't he the one who fell? One person didn't vote for him for the Hall of Fame. Like, please take their awards away. Because the reasons that they do it are just silly. And then last interesting thing, since the 75-76 season, the one that Kareem won it without making the playoffs, only 3 players have been named MVP for a season which their team failed to win at least 50 games. Moses Malone twice, Russell Westbrook, like I talked about, and Nikola Jokic. Now you look at this list. All right, I'm just gonna, I know a lot about these players. I didn't watch them play. Most of you probably didn't watch them play. So let's just go down to pretty much I'll just say it. I know I'm going to age myself here. This is around when I was born. All right? Whatever, you guys. Don't I look good for my age? Come on now. Anyway. Now, you just look Look at how much. Now, this brown right here, all right, that designates, with the brown with the cross, denotes player whose team won the championship that year. Now, I understand it's a regular season award, but still, shouldn't you be, if it's truly the most valuable and on a good team, don't you think they would get this right at least 50% of the time? Or not have large gaps? So you look, for a while, it was like Kareem, Dr. J. No one's gonna, like, dude, it's Dr. J. The two Moses Malone. This was the faux 76ers. Of course, deserving. Larry Bird 3 times in a row. This is where it really gets juicy. Because what, are you going to say, all right, Michael Jordan, well, they didn't win the championship. Yeah, but he's still the MVP. Jordan, Johnson, Jordan. Now, this is where it starts to get a little, all right, these 2 years you throw them out. This is when Jordan was gone, right? They got to vote for someone. Barkley, well-deserving. Hakeem, well-deserving. They won the championship that year, all right? First year he gets back, whatever. They want to vote for Robinson. Now, Michael Jordan. Okay, cool. Karl Malone? I mean, yeah, he was an all-time great player, but, like, the Bulls won it that year. And Jordan, you really didn't think it was him? Voter fatigue? And then this is the last time Jordan wins it. Now, I know that's the last year he was really, realistically could have won it. And that's why sometimes I say, like, well, if you look at Jordan's whole career, when was he actually supposed to win it? In some of these years when it was Bird and Magic going back and forth? And then Magic Johnson won it 2 more times. And then you look at, these are the 2 years he was gone. And then he only didn't win it 2 other years that he was really realistically eligible for it, right? So you get Karl Malone, all right, whatever. Again, you had to vote for someone. You got the amazing Shaquille O'Neal. And this is where it starts to get like, all right, Allen Iverson, Tim Duncan, worthy, AI, how can you take it from him? But you're going to tell me Shaquille O'Neal was only worthy of the most valuable player award one time? I mean, really? If anyone watched him play, that was just like the 8th wonder of the world. I mean, it was just he was just playing a different game than everyone else was, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. And now you look, this is the point I was trying to make before, where you see all this brown. They're pretty much, all right, you had this long stretch right here. I don't know too much about that, okay? They're pretty much nailing it, switching back and forth. If these guys weren't winning it, they were in the title game, or, Now, look at this stretch. Now, I know LeBron James was in 2 of these, all right? But look at all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in a row where the person they voted for didn't win the MVP award. Even if you want to take, okay, how are you going to, all right, LeBron James, whatever. So that's still 6 of those years. And even then, Derrick Rose, I'm sorry, you were just looking for someone different. I'm not trying to take away from what Derrick Rose did. He was a great player before he got injured. But I'm sorry, this should have been LeBron James 5 years in a row. Kevin Durant, in what world? Again, it should have been LeBron James. Steph Curry. Okay, Steph Curry, again, it's not necessarily, because if you really hold it to most valuable, I mean, the guy is a liability on defense. So, if you want to go with the most, what was it? What was the exact wording again? I'm sorry, guys. The best performing player of the regular season. Now, obviously, the offensive side is going to be paid more attention to. All right, cool. Russell Westbrook, because the first triple-double season. But you know what? Triple-doubles, it's the longer it gets into it, to this new triple-double era, it's just the less and less impressive it is, because you see these guys all over the place, and I think a lot of it has to do with the positionless basketball and obviously the increased amount of possessions in a game. The players are playing faster. And again, the positionless basketball, it just gives people like Russell Westbrook the chance to get more rebounds. Because let's face it, most of these guys, they're only one stat away from a triple-double, right? It's either the rebounds or the assists. The scoring, they got that covered all day, unless you're Draymond Green, right? But it's either the assists or the rebounds. Now, the positionless basketball, it just gives you more of a chance to get those rebounds, or for a guy like Jokic to get the assists, a guy like LeBron James to get the assists. So then this is where, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row we're up to now, where the people that they voted for did not win the title. Now, maybe you want to take Giannis out because he eventually did win the title, but look at all these guys. Westbrook, James Harden, Jokic. So, again, I'm not saying that these guys didn't have great regular seasons. And if you want to make the case under the moving goalpost that they were deserving of it, that's fine. Now, I will say that as bad as some of this looks, as inconsistent as some of this looks, it could be even worse if you let the actual players vote for it. Right? Because Kevin Durant says all the time, oh, this media, they didn't play, they don't know the game. That's just not true at all. I'm sorry. Brian Windhorst is not a physical specimen whatsoever. Probably never played a second of competitive basketball in his whole life at any level. And I would fathom he knows more about the game of basketball than a large percentage of the NBA players. Maybe not some of the X's and O and the more cerebral stuff, just in the moment, decision making. Again, the X's and O's, all that stuff, okay. But the actual history of the game, players, schemes, are all the GMs former players? Yes, some of them are. You have the Elton Brands of the world, of course. He also went to Duke, okay? Now, listen to what the players voted for this year in the NBA All-Star voting. And I'll show you the point of why, as bad as the media may seem sometimes, you should still leave it up to them. And I won't even get into the fans. Obviously, like the fans, they're just going to vote for whoever their favorite player was on their favorite team. 330 different players were voted for this year in the NBA at least one time by the players. So 330 different people. 4 players voted for Chet Holmgren to start the All-Star game. What is that? What is that? And 41%, you're not hearing me incorrectly, 41% of the players did not vote for Nikola Jokic, the 2-time reigning NBA Most Valuable Player, to make the All-Star game. They did not vote for him. At all. 41%. That's insane. So, do I think LeBron James still should be in the discussion to win the MVP award? Of course. Will he win it? Of course not. He has no shot to win the MVP award in the NBA this year. I don't care how good he plays. He's already playing at the best level anyone for his age has ever played. And even, never mind his age, he's having one of the best stretches of his entire career. And even saying that, he still has no chance whatsoever. Because think about it, guys. What just happened on the Lakers? Anthony Davis just came back. So even if the Lakers right now, let's just say they win 10 games in a row to leap back into the top. You saw yesterday I showed all the standings and how interesting they were in the West. If the Lakers can win 10 games in a row right now, they will be a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. They might even vault all the way up to number 3. Because remember how I showed that it's pretty much Denver, Memphis, and then everyone else. Just as far as record goes. Okay, just the record right now. It's Denver, Memphis 2.5 back, and then everyone else is even further back. I think it just starts at like 6 games with Sacramento. So if the Lakers could win 10 games in a row right now, I think they'd actually be the 3 seed, right? Because they'd be like 33 and 26. Never mind, maybe Sacramento goes on a hot streak too, but whatever. They'd be the 3rd or the 4th seed. But if they did that, what would everyone say? Well, LeBron's doing good, but AD just came back, so that's why they started winning more. They're not going to give him any credit. And it's kind of crazy to think after that last one, and what year was it again? 2012, 2013 season was the last time he won it. He was on the Miami Heat. So he didn't win it any of the years when he went back to Cleveland. And think about that one finals performance. Again, I know it's in the playoffs. It's a regular season award. But think about how valuable he was to those teams. Even during the regular season, if you would watch when LeBron James went to the bench, he would go to the bench with like a 10-point lead and he would sit down for like 2 minutes. And by the time he came back, it would be a tie game. It happened all year long. And then he was playing with Matthew Dellavedova, Tristan Thompson, and a bunch of lawn chairs in the NBA Finals, and still pushed the Golden State Warriors. He had them legit sweating in that championship. When I'm sorry, you got to give LeBron one game. That should have been a 4-1 gentleman's sweep. And without even being close at all. So, like, my final point is, please, let's not take too much credence into putting these MVP awards in the best of all time debates. You could see the best guys, they're all up there. The Kareems, the Jordans, the LeBrons, the Magic Johnsons, the Larry Birds, Kobe probably should have won 1 or 2 more. Shaq definitely should have won 1 or 2 more. And lately it seems just like the goalpost moves more and more from year to year. I don't know if this is the advent of social media, even though that's been around for even a while longer. It's hard to put your thumb on it. There's never any one cause. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments as usual. Like the video. Dislike it. Whatever you want to do. But anyways, guys, tomorrow I'm going to preview those NFL games. See if I can nail them again. But probably not. Those are tough games to pick. Even if you pick them right. You could pick them right and be more wrong than someone who picked them wrong just because, you say one game's going to be a blowout and the other game's going to be close and just, I don't know. I'll get more into that tomorrow. Anyway, if you've gotten this far, thank you so much and stay healthy. Peace.